Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City B. It is a reaction time. We are live after the game, just moments. My heart rate finally just went down. Like it just calmed down. Because what the fuck?
And what was that stat that Tom Brady put out there? The Ravens have the most fourth quarter blown leads since 2021 in the NFL, and they almost did it again today after blowing a 10-point lead last week. I'm glad this week Lamar Jackson said, "Put it on me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to win this game," and he did. And to me, that was. I mean, he as good as Derrick Henry was, as good as the Ravens defense was in spurts. I thought Lamar Jackson was the MVP of this football game, and for a good reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what you thinking, bro.
I mean, it's should we not be used to this by now? I don't know why anyone's heart rate gets to this is what they kind of do now. It's annoying, but they either will blow you out completely or not. But like my dad pointed out, though, if they get out early, that's bad. Normally, when they do their blowouts, they struggle in the first, then the blowout happens in like the second and the third, and then it keeps rolling. If they get the blowout going too early, they're just like, huh. Even Lamar was quoted himself saying, "We should have scored more points. We should have put the gas pedal down when it was 28-6," which I kept saying all game, which has always been their problem.
Yeah.
Let's just stop. I'm like, no, go.
Yeah.
This is a subplot, but like Justin Tucker missing that 46-yard field goal, which, up till this year, absolutely money in that range anyway. They're up 31-12 with like 6 minutes left. Like that's ball game. There's no coming back from that. If he misses that field goal, the momentum just shifts the other direction. The Cowboys go down and score, get the extra point, go down and score, and it's like literally like he's been a big reason why this team can't sustain momentum because he's untrustworthy, and that's horrible when you think about it.
Yeah.
Really, this is his first miss from under 40 this year. But yes,
They're piling up.
But once again, the fall off now, it is definitely in his head. That is now the problem.
Yeah.
Because clearly we all say age normally affects distance.
Yeah.
Something else is going on.
Well, and that's a scapegoat for you because the defense obviously for the second week in a row, and really a second week in a row, failed to put the game away with a big lead. And that, I mean, it happened with Mike McDonald too last year, if y'all remember. It took a little bit of time, and I'm hoping the same thing with these Ravens team that offensively kind of figured it out. Maybe the defense is coming, and we'll have a great second half of this season. But that's, to me, is a bigger concern is why are we doing this all again?
Yeah, once again, I think we've said it many times, yeah. Why are we relying on a 30-something-year-old kicker still with this offense and this defense? Yeah, the last 2 weeks, we lost Bobby because of that, but we shouldn't. It shouldn't be the case. Like you're up 28-6. You've been shutting them down. Keep doing you. I will say once again, I think the NFL realized the Ravens weren't having enough flags thrown against them.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They're like, hey guys, get some there. Even the Fox broadcast refs like, yeah, that wasn't roughing. That was just a hit.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Three straight weeks we've had over 10 penalties thrown against us.
Like it's unfathomable. And again, I know some because I'm a big accountability person. There's probably some discipline issues there to a certain degree. There is. Got some young guys out there doing big man things. This is happening. This is just straight up fact. But a lot of it is bullshit. A lot of it is. And it's time to stop pretending. Again, when you have analysts on live national television, virtually being like, yo, what the hell is this? It's unavoidable. And those are people watching the game neutrally.
And I'll argue, usually you shouldn't put yourself in that position, but I think it's in depth when you're playing teams like the Cowboys and the Chiefs and probably the Bills next week. It's going to be a close game. So inevitably, no matter what you do, there's going to be opportunities for the refs to turn the game one way or the other. And I thought today it really allowed the Cowboys to stay in that game because of that drive they were able to sustain with, that roughing the passer call that was really obnoxious.
There should have been
There's a
2
couple
points
others
on the
in
board
there, but that
earlier.
one was pretty.
Like, what are you supposed to
Yeah,
do as a
100%.
defensive lineman? Like,
He did everything
Like
right
you
there.
lay it down,
Mike,
pillow.
well, it's funny you say that Kevin Hart did a joke about that, and he got laid down lightly on a pillow, and then they put a blanket on him. But no, yes, I mean even Mike Patera said it's like, yeah, I know what they were trying to call, but that wasn't it.
No.
Yeah.
And then also we should have had a safety.
Yeah.
Because how can there be illegal touching? That's fine. He also threw it to no one around him.
Nobody.
By standing in the end zone.
But, like, it's just frustrating.
Even Harbaugh's like, well, come here. Why not? Just where's this?
Argue that at the end of the day, the Ravens defense, I think, is the biggest culprit here. It just could not close the door, and the Ravens offense couldn't sustain a drive after like 3/4 of the way. I feel like they set themselves up for this, and it's where when that compounded with the referees, compounded with the Cowboys offense getting going, is a recipe for a disaster. I think the Ravens killed themselves more than anything. They put themselves in that position. But it is concerning, and it makes you wonder what calls are not going to go their way next week against the Bills at home.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if the refs aren't calling the game in your favor, I mean, there's really not a lot you can do when you're getting bullshit calls like that. I will say, despite the defense damn near giving up the game, like real close, like we were real close to having a different type of video. Yeah. Despite that, I was really happy to see the defense, Marlon Humphrey, number one, shut down CeeDee Lamb. Look,
defense,
because you have Brandon Stevens, you have I'm just saying, like, I feel like Marlon Humphrey's catched a lot of slack over the last few weeks, over the last probably few months, and
I say years.
Yeah, and I think he's showing up again. I think he's healthy, and I think he's back. But I think Nate Wiggins, wow, like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I feel like Trey Wiggins and Simpson together, those two young guys, I think it's been taking a couple games. I think the whole team as a whole needed a whole game and a half to get going. And I think we're all as a collective unit in a really good place going forward. But those guys, like you mentioned, Marlon Humphrey, Trenton Simpson, Wiggins, those guys are stepping into these roles and really taking them on. And for Marlon Humphrey, I feel like he's found the fountain of youth. He's found a role in this defense that he can play Papa Bear. He can just do the thing that he loves to do the most, which is play physical football. You're not asking him to go deep routes with CeeDee Lamb. You're asking him to hit him at line of scrimmage. And to me, that's Zach Orr using him the way he can be used. And it's also because we have health. Like, I think as guys inevitably go down, I'm intrigued to see how this team responds. But right now, they've got 2-3 really good safeties. They're able to bench guys that are safeties for the game because they're so stacked on defense. And so, to me, he's a product of the way this team is built right now. But yeah, great to see.
Yeah. How about Cal Van Noy? Broken face, just like, yo. We'll talk about a fountain of youth. I mean, he's older than Zach Orr by a few months. He's older than his defensive coach.
Yeah,
with Brady on the Patriots.
Tom Brady kept mentioning he was his former teammate. Tom Love reminded everyone that he used to play because I remember I played against Kyle Hamilton when he was a rookie. Yeah, that's my former teammate. They're like, yeah, okay, we get it, Tom. You just got done playing. Relax.
I'm gonna acknowledge, like,
I don't mind him.
Huh? I loved it.
I don't mind Tom Brady personally.
It wasn't as bad as people said it was bad. He wasn't as bad as I thought he was going to be.
No, he was really good.
He brought a lot. I thought his insight.
You could tell he was. You could tell he was still a rookie because he kept mixing up things. Like he kind of got called at the end. Like, it's still 4 down territory. Then the other guy's like, Tom, it's still 4 down. Well, it depends on how many yards they get here. But no, he wasn't.
His mindset from playing for the Patriots. Tom Brady Patriots go for that game. Okay, they go for it. With Gronk, they go for it on fourth down. I think the Dak Prescott Cowboys are just happy to get a field goal. But
because they needed both. They needed it was 10 at that point.
But that's why the Patriots won 7 Super Bowls. They said, "Fuck you, I'm going for it. Stop us. I have Tom Brady," and that's the problem with Tom Brady in the booth is that no one can compare to him ever.
I will say the Ravens have that same confidence. I think
They do.
Sometimes.
I shat myself when John Harbaugh said 2 points against the Chiefs. I was like, "Please no, 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 we're not going to lose this game because you're going to go for 2."
I was fine with that. I expected it. So I was like, screw it.
Stop them all game though. The rules have changed. The rules have changed. You can get field goals and still win.
We did not stop them all game. We got up and immediately gave up the lead again.
Well, yeah, kind of wrong, but
if we ended right there,
plus we can't all just live pessimistically like you.
I normally am. Me and my dad normally either argue or agree. Like, don't go for 2. As soon as I scored, I was like, I go for 2 here. Why not?
I think the risk, though, if you don't get that from a PAO standpoint, that to me is the issue. Like, the Ravens don't get it. It's such a shit show for the organization.
You were on the road in defending Super Bowl champs' house.
But it's not Camden. It's not baseball. Like, you're not getting the last at bat. It's like you can win the field goal.
Wait, weren't you the same person who's like, oh, we only lost by 7. That's not bad. It's like, if we could have stomped on their throat and won by 1.
Agreed. But if you tie the game and then in overtime, you can either stop them for the field goal or score a touchdown yourself. Like, it extends the football game, but mostly you just avoid the inevitable post-game reign of terror that comes from going for 2 and not getting it.
Yep.
And that to me is, I'd rather lose the football game in overtime than face that shit.
Yeah, fuck it. Like,
that's just me though.
No, that's the problem.
That 2020 season was gone.
Will always be a damn if you do and damn if you don't.
Do you remember 2020? Like, that was horrendous.
Yeah. No, I remember it. And
oh god.
No, like, I don't want to go back. No, stop.
Stupid ass Chiefs.
Stay there. No, but yeah. NFC record with Lamar Jackson still extends. Only 1 loss to the Giants. That's crazy when you really think about it. The Giants.
A game we gave him a double-digit fourth quarter lead in.
Yep. That's on. That
was one of those record setting.
That's on brand, man.
I don't ever want to go to the Super Bowl.
I remember that game. I'm watching it like, how are we about to lose to Danny Dimes?
Yeah.
We did, though. That we did.
What a game.
But how about Derrick Henry today, guys?
I was about to say it. Derrick Henry. So, listen, I will admit this verbally. Can't even talk. Too many shots for tutties. We scored too many touchdowns. Anyways, I was calling him washed in the beginning of the game. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the group chat talking real wild. Then all of a sudden, bam, where the fuck he come from? Boom, loaded. Like
one of his classic Derrick Henry cutback runs. Like, there he is.
Insane. And now we're using him in the pass game. Something
Tennessee
did not do.
The fact that he got 25 carries, which I think makes him 23-2 all time when he gets 25. His team wins. His team is 23-2 all time when he gets 25 carries or more, which is asking a lot of Derrick Henry. I think the play calling kind of called for it this game. The Cowboys can't stop the run. But he had, 151 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Like, he's one of those guys, and I think I said this in the group chat, you have to give him carries. I think once you hit that 15 carry plateau, he just goes off, and it's mostly because the team is tired of tackling him. But I think he has to get going. You have to feel if you give him 8-10 carries a game, he's not going to give you anything, which is what you saw against the Chiefs, which is kind of what you saw against the Raiders. I think you have to understand it takes a few carries. I think that as a team, they're figuring out how to run them too, which is good.
That's what I've been saying that all year. They've been trying to figure out their identity with Derrick Henry, and Tom or Dave were saying in the broadcast they're trying to figure out how to do things that make Lamar work, which is, the shotgun pistols, and Derrick Henry, who's customly come out of the strong eye, running downfield. And if you can make both of those work, which you can, I've seen the hard play action coming out of an I formation. But I think they finally figured it out, and they realized they saw last week that Cowboys couldn't stop Kamara to save their life. So like, hey, let's run. You could kind of tell that by everyone else's production. Bateman did good.
Yeah.
Zay was around.
Tight end.
Do you know who wasn't around like at all?
Isaiah Likely.
Andrews. No, Likely was on the field. Collard was on.
Oh yeah, he was.
Andrews was on the field one time that I saw for an incomplete pass thrown at him.
Is that the fact that they ran the ball 75% of the time? The fact that when they did throw it,
like I said,
it was
they trust
downfield
Collard
throws,
and
like
Likely more as blockers? Is that? I mean,
I think that's part of it. I think the fact that you need to block extra guys, but I also think that it's just the play calling didn't go Andrews' way. But I also think you're seeing that the Ravens' offense is evolving to the point where Lamar doesn't want to just do check down to a tight end anymore. He'd rather give it to Zay Flowers with speed, put it out in the flat to guys like Hill, or go downfield to Bateman. I feel like, or Likely. I feel like Andrews is sort of lost in his offense. And there's going to be games, trust me, where he has a big game, 8-9 catches. It's coming. But I'm glad they're not forcing it because they forced it in that Chiefs game last year, and it's half the reason why they lost is that they kind of lost their identity because they were so focused on Andrews.
I get that, but I've just never seen it to a point where he was just like, me and my dad were talking, like, is he playing?
He is. He's just
because I saw
more than an afterthought at this point.
The team's evolving.
Honestly, I don't know how much he actually played this game because Collard played a lot more than I've seen in the past. He had a long pass.
When you look at the snaps, I bet the snaps tell a different story, but I do think that it's they're not that's the offense has evolved to what Gerald just said. Like it's all about Zay Flowers, it's all about Bateman, it's all about big bodied receivers and running the football down your throat. And Mark Andrews doesn't fit in that formula anymore.
So what do we do? Let's trade.
Unfortunately.
Okay, let's
trade. What? Trade him for what? Who's taking him?
Justin Tucker.
No
fucking send them. Send their asses off for a 1.
Bye.
Peace.
I'm remembering this when he has his 100-yard game because he still can't be covered.
They ain't gonna change how I fucking feel.
I'd say unlikely can have that game though. Yeah, like it's got embarrassment of riches. Like I mean, if Andrews has 100 yards, it's because Likely didn't have it, and that's the problem I have with this team.
Is that
Likely
have 100 yards today? Likely didn't have
100
yards today. No tight end did shit today
because we didn't need the pass.
Because the Cowboys blow ass. Like the Cowboys
blow ass.
are really good in the front seven.
We won by 3. Blow ass. Maybe if we threw more people, tight ends underneath instead of, trying to run Henry on a toss on 3rd and 1.
Again,
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but I also don't think that Andrews is right. How about that?
He got hurt last year, and I think he's getting old quickly. And in football terms, you suffer an injury like that, it takes a long time. And then when you see your replacement actually play at a Pro Bowl level when you leave, and Lamar Jackson having this great success with him, where he had 7 touchdowns in 6 games, and all of a sudden you are an afterthought. I'm sorry, it's the NFL. And Mark Andrews, he's going to have his, but he's no longer that guy. Unfortunately, he could be for other teams, and I think the Ravens do need to capitalize on that value while they still have it. Because it is a what have you done for me lately?
Because that's a few draft picks down the road. That's easy. That's easy numbers to me. We can get a new blocking tight end. We can get a third.
Get a blocking tight end. We don't have a blocking tight end.
To be fair,
I'll tell you what.
Both system guys.
Yeah.
They're both system guys. You could go out and get a tight end from any team, I think, in this offense, and they'll have success. So to me, I think Lamar is the reason why Andrews is good. Don't get me wrong. And this is probably a hearsay kind of thing. But I do feel like Lamar is why Andrews is really good and not vice versa. I think they play together nicely, but that offense is great for a tight end because it's quarterback playing backyard football. I mean, who gets open on this place? The tight end.
I mean, here's the thing. It's the same thing. Look at Hayden Hurst when we drafted him in the first round that year. Hayden Hurst goes down. Mark Andrews in a Ravens system that liked tight ends was able to thrive, and then Hayden Hurst, hey, see you later, buddy. Now, what team? I think I saw him actually. It's on the Chargers. By the way, Chargers, the Ravens of the West. Am I lying? Like
where have you been? That's been since y'all season.
I literally
you just
catching on to the Chargers.
Offensive coordinator, the tight end.
That's Their team is
Harbaugh.
run by a former Raven. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been
Their
here
GM
before that. I
was
just
our
didn't
former
realize we had
scout.
Yeah, they got.
They took our GM.
What's his name? Oh, sorry.
No,
They had. I forget what the lineman was. Oh God, what the fuck?
Bozeman. They got
Right.
Bradley Bozeman.
Yeah.
They got Gus Edwards. They have Dobbins. They have who was that tight end they took? I can't remember. He was like Kohler before Kohler. They got our offensive coordinator. They took our scout and made him his GM. They have Harbaugh. Like, I mean, they are the Ravens, and we play them in the fall. We play them like right between Christmas and Thanksgiving, and it's going to be incredible. Sunday Night Football Monday.
J.K. Dobbins versus fucking yeah. Wow. Yeah, I am ready for that defense.
There was a lot of tutties today, Gerald. A lot of tutties today.
A lot of tutties. No, it was a fun afternoon. Up until about the fourth quarter, things started looking real weird. The heart rate was usually Ravens high because that's just what they give us. They can't give us an easy game.
We won the football game though, and I feel like big picture. And I was saying this earlier in our chat, there's the narrative shifting. And so if we can go in and we can beat Buffalo at home in the blackout, Sunday Night Football, prime effing time, go back to 2-2, and then you're facing a Bengals team that has, talk about identity crisis, the Bengals, followed by, it gets a little bit easier, the Buccaneers, and then I think there's another team in there that's not that good. The Ravens could easily be 5-2 or something in a few weeks, and we're going to remember this like it was nothing except building blocks where we're going to be. Like, oh, they lost to the Chiefs. One of their losses was the Chiefs, and the other was an upstart Raiders team that I think the Ravens were probably still themselves going through an identity crisis. And so by December, we're playing superstar football. Mm-hmm. We could still win 12 games. And to me, that's where we're at with the football team. They just got to stack W's, and they got to remember how to stop teams in the fourth quarter. To me, that's the two biggest things.
Yeah, like it's totally plausible. And again, I think before – probably yesterday, it's like you're sitting there like, what the hell are we gonna do? It honestly took me seeing Lamar's NFC record on TV, and I was like, oh, okay, this is probably gonna work out. All of a sudden, first drive, bam, done. Second drive, touchdown again.
That was it for me. When Lamar took this team down the football field, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, scored a touchdown, and they did it again. And it was 14-3 or whatever the hell it was. And we were blowing them out. It was 28-6. I was eating steak at halftime thinking, my God, this game's over. And they obviously did their thing in the second half, partly because they took the foot off the pedal. And I think they're learning lessons here in how to win big games down the stretch. But they're still one of the most talented teams in football. They're easily the most talented team in not the Big Ten, the AFC North. And I think even the Steelers are 3-0. The Steelers are always like 8-0 and then like somehow buck that away the rest of the year.
Of the season today.
I would rather be 1-2 now and 13-4 or whatever it is at the end of the season than what the Steelers are right now, which is like fool's gold. You know what I mean? Like fool's black and gold. Like I'm not really buying what they're selling. I think it's a Justin Fields offense that is beating bad teams. Yeah. And so we'll see. I mean, the Chargers have a lot of issues and they lost Justin Herbert today. So we'll see how the Steelers do down the stretch. But they're going to play the Ravens a few times, and we'll probably lose both those games because that's what the Ravens do. But we'll see how it goes. But I do like the Ravens' chances to still win the North with a lot of football left to play. It's the middle of September, boys.
Yep. It's early. It's still early. The Browns went down to the Giants. The Bengals have not played yet.
No, they play tomorrow night.
That's right. Yeah.
The Bills, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't – and that works out for us. Short week for them. But yeah, no, I think it's a long season, very long season ahead. I was looking at the next 4 games, said could probably come real close with the Bills. Bengals are going to be an interesting game. I don't feel really a threat of the NFC teams. It's the Commanders and the Bucks. Commanders are well.
No, I think they destroy the Commanders. The Buccaneers, they don't have Tom Brady. No. Like, I mean, that's a weird. Baker Mayfield scares me a little bit.
Baker has decent.
But they got blown out by the Broncos today, you know. So like,
yeah.
And then I think 4/5 of this team probably hasn't seen Lamar Jackson yet. They definitely haven't seen Derrick Henry. So like, they could probably play the playbook you saw today against all the NFC teams. And I think the Bills have so much dark memory of Derrick Henry I'm really intrigued by how the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson evolution continues because
I'm loving
it's
it.
late in day from when they looked like 2 weeks ago, and that's because they never played preseason together. And you're
Yeah.
talking, it's taken them 4, 8, 12 quarters to get going, and I think next game they're really figuring out the eye form. To Ross's point, they've got the gun figured out a little bit, and I think as they get that going, yeah, I mean, I think most teams are going to struggle to figure out how to stop this offense as long as they don't forget who they are. That's the biggest issue they've always had is identity.
So, of course, obviously, one of the biggest glaring things of last week's loss was the O line. What are y'all feeling about the O line after today? And also, have y'all heard about Ben Cleveland talking to the Sun? Do you think a lot of that has, I don't know, maybe just the media, the attention that the O line's gotten, has it kind of motivated the O line today?
I don't know. Whatever Ben Cleveland got comments got Harbaugh to change his mind over the week. First he says nothing, then he says it'll be rotation, which he lied. There weren't.
Yeah,
They
there
didn't have
was.
to. Well, they didn't have to. They said it because he thought they were going to have to, but they right side actually played fine.
Held up well. I was terrified. I literally had nightmares thinking about it all day. Like, fuck, Micah Parsons, he's a dog, and you saw how fast he was. I mean, he almost chased down Lamar Jackson from behind at one point. It was crazy. So I was like, this could be a long day. And no, like Lamar had time to pass. The run game was just insane. No, it was whatever it is, keep doing it.
Well, they knew to run to the.
I think you
Knew to
nailed it
run
on
to the
the
left
head
side.
there. I think the run game is why Micah Parsons couldn't get going. The lack of a run game last week is why Max Crosby could just, as they say, cook. I feel like the inability when the Ravens can establish the football on the ground and they can run Derrick Henry, your big time pass rusher. And they've played maybe three of the best in the NFL: Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, and Jones the last 3 weeks. I mean, you're asking a lot for this O line to pass defend against those guys, regardless. And I know they'll have TJ Watt at some point this year, some other guys. But when you have Derrick Henry running the football down the heart of this defense and out on the outside of Lamar Jackson, you can't pin your ears back and go after the quarterback because they'll run right by you. And so I think that's got to be the formula with this O line, which is built to run. I mean, this run game makes any O line look good. But I do, and I also, to your point, I think them gelling a little bit also helps having some sort of consistency.
No, I definitely think, yeah, 100%. The gelling, just say, hey, we don't want to be talked about nationally as sucking so bad. I think that gets to a man, you know. But no, it was great to see, and hopefully it goes forward. I mean, there are tests down the road, as you know. We're gonna face pretty good rushers down the road, but getting past Micah Parsons, I think, is a great first step. I think it's a big confidence builder, and as long as we can just hold games, I think we're good. I think we're good.
Stay short yardage.
Let's be honest. If
As long as we
that
just
Ross,
stay in short yardage. It's like Brady kept saying that you don't let them get into pass rushing downs, which is third and 5 plus, and they know you're passing. You keep it short, you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? You saw the 1 3rd and long they did. Parsons rushed right up the middle on Linderbaum and was like, move. You're in my way.
Yeah. Good.
let's be honest. If we go 2-2 in the stretch against the Chiefs, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills, like that's something you would sign up for before the season started anyway. Because I would almost thought, regardless of how you played, you're going to lose to the Chiefs. And if you can split against the Cowboys and Bills, Cowboys on the road, a good Cowboys team, that at least we thought preseason. I mean, the Raiders game was the big surprise, so we could be 3-1 if we beat the Bills. But 2-2, I think, is still really good when you consider the rest of the schedule that we have and maybe how bad the Bengals and Browns actually might be. I'll take it all day. We'll take it all day.
Exactly. I think we're at a good position. I think where we were on DEFCON 5, I think we're down at maybe like 2. 2, yeah.
What did Lamar say? Lamar is both an MVP and he's an advocate for mental wellness. He said like half the Ravens were on suicide watch this week, which is a little weird to say, but I think he captures everyone. He captures everyone's mindset. I mean, if we go 0-3, this guy is falling. The fan would be on. John Harbaugh probably doesn't have a job tomorrow if the Ravens lose to.
No team has won a Super Bowl start 0-3.
It's
Oh,
unbelievable. And so, like, you go out and you pay a Derrick Henry. You have all pros at every level of the defense. You've got a former all pro on the O line and Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and you can't go 0-3 with this team. It's too talented. It's still,
yep.
for my money, the most talented team in the NFL, unbiasedly. And so to go 0-3 them, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, let's get the game ball out. Let's talk about that. I think to me, Derrick Henry. I thought Derrick Henry had a great game. I hope you have many more games, sir, just like that, because that's why we paid him. Again, I ate crow halfway through the game. I was talking mad shit. I was in the group chat walling. All of a sudden,
The very next play.
the very next play.
It was like a 30-yard run. I was like, oh, man.
Like, okay. I'll take that.
So we got the pattern of Derrick Henry cut back,
I'm glad I'm wrong.
here, cut back here, throw a stiff arm in there. I'm like, I've seen that before.
Look, I'm glad I was wrong.
It wasn't fun when I saw it the last time. But
The man was in the kitchen with the hairnet and the apron, to quote Lil Wayne. Like, he was cooking
Ribs
in the
at
second
3
half of that game, and he became the first Raven ever to have 3 rushing touchdowns in his first 3 games. Like, a rushing touchdown every single game. It's never been done before. Jamal Lewis. To name a few other running backs that we've had, and to not have anyone ever do that before, that's why you brought him in. And so I think it was games like today where the passing offense is going to have trouble with the Michael Parsons. And to be able to lean on a big dog like him, he ate.
Yeah.
Just take him a little bit.
Keep feeding him. Feed him the ball. Because it was great to see. Nah. He earned his money. He earned his money. No question. No, I think the Ravens are in a good place. I think we're bouncing back when we need to. Primetime football is up next. Blackout on Sunday Night Football versus the Bills. We'll probably talk about it later this week. Any last thoughts?
For me personally, I'm going to that football game. My birthday's on Saturday. It's my birthday game. I'm super excited about it. If you all go, we have to celebrate somehow, some way, either in the parking lot or after the game starts. Because it's Sunday night. It's not Thursday night. We're not working that day. You might be. I'm not. But
I am.
are you going to the game?
Verizon.
You're not going to the game?
No.
Ross, you going?
yeah, well, I guess I'm not tailgating because Gerald is a loser job.
I know.
Can't just be sick all of a sudden.
My coworkers watching it.
I enjoy watching primetime games at home, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bittersweet for me to go to them because, like, it's such a good time at home to watch that game in primetime. And
Oh wait, well,
you get the attention.
Now you two are all not going. I used to be the one who was against primetime games.
I love primetime games. What are you talking about?
Tickets, Ross. I'm just saying that there's something to be said about sitting down at 8 o'clock with a couple drinks and watching the only game on. And, primetime shots of Baltimore City.
For 6 hours all day to eat those ribs at 8 at kickoff, bro. That's a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time. But I'm excited for this Bills game. And I think the Ravens have all the momentum now. And the Bills, I hope they beat the Bengals tomorrow. That I don't want a Bills team that's lost because they'll be pissed off for greatness all week.
But that's not the Bills play the Jags and the Bengals play.
So who the hell the Bengals play?
Commanders.
What's happening?
There's 2 games tomorrow.
The Bills are playing the Commanders tomorrow?
No, Bills are playing the Jags. Bengals are playing the Commanders.
Yeah. Oh,
all right. So Josh Allen's gonna have a dub coming in here. I mean, I think I like our chances. We should have beaten them last year again. Same thing. We blew that game. Can't wait to watch this game again. But it's prime time. Hopefully, we see a good outing. And they don't want the heat from Derrick Henry, who absolutely torched them a couple years ago in prime time. I remember that game.
I'm kind of with the one guy with work I talk about. It's not fun playing a good team after they lose the next week. They're usually pissed off.
You want the Bills to win this week, so they are on cloud 9.
Yes.
The Cowboys had to run into an 0-2 Ravens team who was pissed off. We just stopped being pissed off halfway through, apparently.
And we're this close to being 3-0, which is fucking ridiculous. Not really, but you can argue.
Yeah, like we should at least be.
The refs weren't letting us. beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, we should at least honestly be 2-1. I could say
Yeah,
we
go.
lost to the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
going overtime against the rest of the Chiefs. We're definitely losing that game. Go for 2 at least, and the rest can't
We
take
should
it
beat
from
the
you.
Raiders. Like I left for softball practice last Sunday at like a time, and I was like, "This game's over." And I was like watching. I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, that's the
Unbelievable.
story of the Ravens fan base. High anxiety, superstitious as fuck, and
Can't have fun.
never know what's gonna can't have a fun game.
Can't have a relaxing game where you're sitting there in the fourth quarter like, this is nice. This is nice.
No, but
I say this: the Bills don't want the heat. I don't think they're built for a Ravens team. I think they're not built to run the football, and that's a problem because
nope.
we're going to be pinning our ears back. And I don't think defensively they're ready for us either.
Oh fuck.
At home,
Nope.
let's go, boys! I'm so excited for this game. So excited.
Remember, the game is 4 quarters.
Let's go.
Game is 4
Yes,
quarters.
unfortunately.
Let's well,
If it was 3 quarters, we'd be the best team ever.
We'd be great.
if we what was it? I think hockey's this one. Yeah. 3.
Hockey plays 3 periods.
Yep, we should play 3 periods. Football should go to 3 periods. Ravens are great.
3
Wrap it
20-minute
up
periods.
We would be undefeated.
Count.
But that does it for our
Political
show. Oh, whoops, sorry. You say something? No, Ravens picked up the dub. Close one, 3 points. Closer than we all wanted, but nonetheless victorious. That does it for our show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to y'all later this week. Enjoy the night.